Hello, callers. Welcome back to Viva Barca and welcome to another interesting episode where we are going to discuss on some interesting transfer updates. We begin with the latest on Joao Cancelo's move as Barca are reportedly prioritizing the registration of Joao Cancelo and two more players before August 30. We are going to discuss on that as we move ahead. Secondly, talking about Vice President Rafael Yusta, as the Barca Vice President talks about Lamine Yamal, Joao Cancelo, Joao Felix, pending registration, and many more. We are going to be discussing on that interview from the VP. So as we get right into the full stories, please do ensure to subscribe if you haven't. Turn on the post bell notification to always stay notified whenever I post a new video. Consider liking the video and please watch it right up to the very end. With Manchester City and Barca ironing out the final details of the Operation Joao Cancelo, it is expected to move to Catalonia on a loan move or on a loan deal this week. There is already an agreement in principle between those two clubs, and they are now just taking care of the final aspects of the deal before officially announcing the Portuguese international switch. As such, with Cancelo's arrival now believed to be imminent, Barca have made it their priority to register the right back and two more players, Marcos Alonso and Inaki Pena, before August 30. This report comes from Sport, who claim that none of the aforementioned trio is expected to be registered in time for the game against Villarreal next weekend. As such, the target is for all three stars to be registered and be available for selection in time for the contest against CA Osasuna on September 3rd. Barca registered their key players like Ronald Araujo, Ilkay Gundogan, Aurelio Romeo, Ace Abde, and Sergio Roberto in time for the start of the season. However, Alonso, Pena, Inigo Martinez are still unregistered, while Cancelo will also join that list once he arrives. The Blaugrana believe that they will be able to take care of the matter once they receive the payment from German investors Libero for the sale of stakes in Barca Vision, which will arrive towards the end of the month. Apart from that, Barcelona are also working on the departure of Clement Lenglet, as getting his wages off the books would free up a significant chunk in the salary margin. Either way, the idea is for Cancelo's signing to be completed by the end of this week and to ensure his registration, along with that of Alonso and Inaki Pena, and even Inigo Martinez possibly before August 30. Of course, Barcelona have been working so hard for the Joao Cancelo signing, which looks imminent. It's just a matter of time, as Barca are hopeful that the deal will be finalized before the summer window comes to a shut. And of course, now this report talking about the fact that Barca are targeting at most August 30 for the registration of Inigo Martinez, Inaki Pena, Alonso, and the potential newcomer Joao Cancelo, which already seems as though it's going to move. Barcelona are trying to ensure that the summer ends in the best possible way. And I think that if we can bring in the Joao Cancelo, which we have been talking about uncountable number of times, is going to be a showcase that the right back is done and dusted. It's just a matter of time for Barcelona to get the deal done. City are already of the idea of letting the player leave who is not even part of Pep Guardiola's plans. And from the look of things, everything is going well as planned. Everything is going well as planned. So registration, I don't think will be any big issue because Barcelona have already sold some players, and of course the latest being Sergio Dest, as we reported earlier today that he has gone to PSV Eindhoven on a loan deal, not a permanent deal, on a loan deal with an option to buy next year. Of course, Barca will be paying just half of that salary, which is 2.5 million euros. So Barcelona have freed 2.5 million euros in the financial fair play, which will help the club to a great extent in their player registration. And I think that with, of course, Joao Cancelo coming, registering him will not be easy, but I think that with the departures that we have made so far, it will just be enough for registration of some of these players who are still unregistered to have the green light to start playing in La Liga. Of course, we are just trying to see how the window will end. I think so far it has not been the worst of transfer windows, as Barcelona are pushing and pushing hard to end the transfer window in the best way possible. In the best way possible. Recently, we have been talking about Joao Felix as well. If we can bring Joao Felix, then I think the summer window is a done and successful one for us. But I think for the last couple of days, we haven't been getting any reports so far about Joao Felix, who has been linked in the previous days. But that notwithstanding, it doesn't mean that Joao Felix is not a priority. He's still a priority, even though Xavi and others have not been in great favor of a move for Joao Felix. But looking at the things right now, Joao Cancelo being the next thing that Barca have been solely focused on, I think the next thing now will be for Joao Felix if Cancelo deal can be completed by the end of this week, which I think will be a great news for us. Then on to the final story of discussion. Ahead of Barca's first home game against Cadiz, the club's vice president, Rafael Justo, did took some time out to issue an update on the club's dealings in the transfer market. Speaking to movie star Pitchside before the game kicked off, Rafael Justo touched upon what the fans can expect in the remainder of the transfer window and even spoke about Lamine Yamal being selected for the first start of his senior career. On Joao Felix, he said, "It is a matter of pride for the club that a player like Joao Felix has speak so highly about Barca the way he did, but there are two operations that Javi and Deco have to deal with." Then about Joao Cancelo, Rafael used to say, "This is another issue that is on the table of the technical secretary and the coach. On pending registrations," he said, "soon we also hope that the whole team will be registered." On Lamine Yamal, he said, "I'm grateful and I wish him the best. He's a very young lad. I hope the environment around him will have that patience for him to become a great player." Then on whether Ansu Fati is for sale, Rafael used to insisted, "I will stick to what Xavi said. Fati is the legacy of this club." Then on Spain Women's World Cup win, the vice president said, "A big hug to the Spanish women's national team for winning the World Cup." Great words there from Rafael Justo, giving updates on some of the transfer dealings for Barca, which so far have been a success, whereas some have not been a great success. But as things stand right now, Barca are moving towards the right direction as to strengthening their players, and from the look of things, they are doing just what needs to be done. So, guys, with that, we have come to an end of this episode. Thanks a lot for watching. Until next time, bye bye.